É isso aí, então, galera que acompanha o Rock Mania. Hoje mais uma entrevista muito bacana para vocês, entrevista internacional. Eu já vou dar uma dica aqui, ó. O que eu tenho em mãos? Go Ahead and Die. Vai estar conversando com a gente Igor Amadeus Cavalera, filho da lenda do metal mundial Max Cavalera. Igor, it's a pleasure for me to be doing this interview. Welcome to Rock Mania.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. Definitely. I'm very excited to be here.
Okay, Igor, let's start talking about Go Ahead and Die. Recently, you did the first concert of the band at the memorial show of your brother Dana. A special day for sure. How it was?
The show was great. For the being the first show, it could be a little nervous and a little high energy and stuff like that. We actually didn't get to practice really, so it was a very throw the stuff on stage and play type thing. But no, it was very good. We had a lot of fun, and the crowd was moshing and having fun and cheering and stuff. So I think it was a great reaction. I think this is something we could keep doing live after doing the first one. Yeah, it was a very big day for us. It's been 25 years since he passed. That was back in 1996. So it was a big deal. It was almost a big ceremony, I guess you could say. All of the bands were family or friends or somebody affiliated with the Cavaleras, and just the whole thing was very special, very I guess you could say magical kind of night.
Go Ahead and Die. Who had the idea to create the band? You, your father, both?
I think I first said the idea of my idea was kind of to do like Nail Bomb. That was kind of how it started. It was to be I guess you say 21st century Nail Bomb was kind of the idea. And then when I told my dad, he suggested, oh, let's add some death metal influences. And then I suggested, let's have some crust and punk influences. And it was kind of we started building on top of each other ideas and just kind of spitballing back and forth. But yeah, I think the original idea was mine. I wanted to do something with him. And we're both fans of extreme music, from death metal, grindcore, punk, even doom metal and stuff like that. We're both big fans of it. So for us, it was us just honoring that and upholding that tradition of extreme, aggressive heavy metal.
How was the process to creating the songs?
From the beginning to now, it's been very natural the whole way. When it came to actually writing, it was literally me and him just sitting with our guitars, and one of us has an idea, so we record it, come up with another idea, and once again just kind of keep building with each other. But once again, it was a lot of fun. It was very creative. We got to try new things that we didn't get to do in previous bands. We were just kind of going crazy, having fun and just be going as extreme as we could, I guess you could say. When it came to the lyrics, we took a lot of influence from bands like Terrorizer and Doom, Discharge, bands like that. That had I guess you could say, social lyrics, political lyrics, human rights lyrics, and things like that. We definitely took influence from bands like that, and once again kind of put our own twist on it. So yeah, all in all, from the writing to the lyrics to recording, it was just a very smooth, natural process. We wanted to keep it very organic. And we wanted to just have it feel live and authentic, and I think the album did a really good job of that.
Oh yes, for sure. And why did you pick Zach Coleman for drums?
He got suggested to us by Arthur Risk, who mixed and mastered the record. Arthur had actually worked with Zach before with the band Black Curse, and my father and we both really liked Black Curse. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but Black Curse has a really good record that came out a few years ago. And when Arthur suggested him, we were both very excited about possibly working with him because he's a really good drummer. He's a really good person outside of music. You know, he owns a brewery. He's in a lot of good bands. He's got a good personality. So once again, it was just a very natural selection, I guess you could say. We needed a drummer. Arthur suggested him. He was available. It all just, it worked out, you know?
And how does it feel to you to have a band with your dad?
It's cool. I really like playing with him. We have a similar mind, I guess you could say, for music and for creating and stuff. So it was a very, very fun process. You know, it can be a little intimidating being with him, being in his shadow and stuff, I guess you could say. It can be kind of hard, but Go Ahead and Die is a lot of my creative input and stuff. So I think you can see both of us in the music. You can see me and you can see him, and we both have identity. And to me, that's one of my favorite things about it, because we're a generation apart. You know, my father was born in the late 60s. I was born in the 1990s, but we both love the same music. So for us, it's almost a connection. But despite the many years between us, it's our connection and it's our love of music and stuff. So I'm really glad we got the chance to do it, because he's very busy with Soulfly and Cavalera Conspiracy, even Killer Be Killed. You know, he's always working on music. So the fact that we had the time and took the time and everything to do this, it really meant a lot to me, you know, and I think it meant a lot to him too, to get to work on it. And we're really proud of the record. And once again, you know, the whole thing has been really smooth and natural and fun for us. And for us, that's what matters first, you know, before anything is we need to enjoy it, and getting to work with my dad and enjoy it is something that a lot of people can't do, whether it's music or something else. You know, sometimes it's hard to work with family, but we make it work and we're happy to do it. So I you know, I have good things to say about it.
Do you have other concerts forward? I see something in November to go.
Yeah, we have we're actually going to the Navajo reservation in Arizona, which is very cool because the reservation doesn't get as many concerts. They don't get as much music as people in the city do. You know, it's out in the countryside almost, so to speak. So we're really excited about that. We're very supportive of indigenous people and indigenous culture and stuff like that. Even, you know, my father, as far back his roots and stuff, you know, has touched on indigenous culture and stuff. So we're really excited to do that show out at the Navajo reservation. And then beyond that, we hope to have some tours next year. We're looking to maybe do a headline or a co-headline with some cool bands, but nothing confirmed yet. But I'm sure it's going to happen. So just, you know, keep your eyes open, follow the pages, follow the social media, and that's where you'll see it. But yeah, as of now, we have the one show out on the reservation and then maybe some tours next year.
How are the works of Healing Magic nowadays?
We're doing really good as well. It's very different from Go Ahead and Die. Musically and images and everything. Healing Magic is more in the sludge doom kind of style of music. So it's very different there, and it obviously deals with a little more fantasy and supernatural kind of topics, lyrics, things like that. But it's going very good. The show was awesome. It was our first show as a two-piece. Actually, it's just me and a drummer. And it sounded huge. That's what we were really happy about. Just for two of us, we sounded like 5 people up there, you know, and people were really really excited about that. So that, you know, the shows are good, and we actually have our first full-length album coming out early next year as well. And that's kind of a concept album. It tells a story from beginning till end, and it'll piece together with some more stuff in the future. So yeah, we have a lot of big things actually going on with Healing Magic. The album coming out. We also have a tour in the works right now. I think we're going to be out around March of next year. Healing Magic will be on the road. So yeah, you know, we're busy with Go Ahead and Die and Healing Magic. I'm constantly working, coming up with songs, coming up with artwork, merchandise, everything. You know, we don't stop working ever.
I can see it. How did you live in the pandemic times?
I worked on music mostly. You know, I at the beginning of the pandemic, I had a job. I was going to work. And all of that ended. You know, I got fired. I got let go from my job. It was really crazy at the start, you know, as it was for a lot of people. But once I realized I wasn't going to go back to work, I wasn't going to get any help that way. I just started working on music, and that's actually how Go Ahead and Die was born. Was during the pandemic, during quarantine. Everything was closed. You couldn't leave your house. So, you know, my father and I, we decided, let's do this finally, you know, let's with songs. And that really helped, because the pandemic did cause a lot of stress and a lot of just financial struggle and hardship for all of us, you know. So working on the music helped with the stress and the frustration. And you can hear a lot of that on the Go Ahead and Die record, especially songs like Truckload Full of Bodies and Isolated, Desolated. Those songs, the lyrics are about the pandemic, and you know, the music was a way of dealing with the hardship of everything, and that's why the frustration, the anger on that record is real. It's not, you know, it's not acting. It's very real.
And Igor, in addition to being a musician, you are a writer too. In 2020, you released the book Negative Legend. What does the reader find in this work?
It would be comparable to like Stephen King, Clive Barker. Those are horror writers that I really look up to. Their influences on me. And then Negative Legend itself is about supernatural kidnapping in small town America, I guess you could say. And it's, like I said, it's supernatural. It deals with magic and ghosts and murder and things like that. So, you know, if anyone's into the horror, thriller, suspense style of stories, then I think it's a great thing to check out. Writing is just like music. It was a passion that I picked up as a teenager, and I've just kept with it, just never stopped working on it. And you know, now I have Negative Legend. I have my first book is called Killing My Insomnia. You know, they're both, I guess you could say, ghost story, murder mystery type novels. Available on Amazon if anyone cares to get them. That's where you can find them. But yeah, you know, it's a passion. It's something I love. I feel like horror is the heavy metal of books, so to speak. You know, it's got the grittiness and the darkness and similar things to heavy metal. So for me, you know, music literature, art, all of it goes together. You know, it's all part of the same family to me.
Uh-huh. And are you working on another book or not yet?
Yeah, I actually, during the pandemic, I started work on a manuscript, and I wrote about 120 pages of it so far. So I'm definitely working on books. I hope to have it out maybe next year. The books take a little bit longer than albums. Usually an album you can do in a couple of months. A book usually takes a couple of years. But I definitely am working on stuff, and we'll keep updating as the work progresses.
What is the difference to writing for an album and to write for a book?
Yeah, there is a little bit of a difference. Obviously with music, the music comes first. The guitar, the drums, all of that comes before the lyrics. And the lyrics, to me, are where the story comes in. So with music, you have a lot of pre-production before you make it a story. You have to come up with the songs, you have to come up with the changes, the structures, everything like that. Whereas with a book, it starts with page one and then you keep going. You know, there's a lot less, I guess you could say, pre-production. It's just kind of once the idea is there, start typing, you know. Whereas with music, I feel like you have to come up with the songs and solos and little things like that, you know. But at the same time, they're very similar to me, because I feel like I tell stories with my music, and I feel like I paint a picture with my music. And that's the same thing I do with the books, is paint a picture, tell a story. So they have some differences, but they also have similarities. You know, Go Ahead and Die tells the story of a dystopia, I guess you could say, you know, a crazy kind of political dictatorship type world. Healing Magic tells kind of a fantasy story with you know, wizards and kings and monsters and things like that. So I do tell stories with my music, and that's, once again, like I said, it's all the same family. It's all kind of the same creative outlet to me. But there are subtle differences between how they're actually made. That would probably be the biggest difference.
I get it. And Igor, what do you like to do when you are not involved with music or with books?
I love the outdoors. I love camping, hiking, kayaking. I love being outside. I really love the natural world. I love the wilderness. I like I said, we're out in the desert. I love walking around the desert, going for hikes. I like camping. You know, I just like to explore, I guess. You know, I love the outside world. I even love animals and plants, and I guess you could say ecology, biology, things like that. I have a big interest in the natural world, I guess you could say. So yeah, if I'm not typing or playing guitar, I'm usually outside walking around, or just even, like I said, going for a drive or paddling or something like that. I love getting outside, so that's my favorite thing.
I would like you to search for a memory of your childhood that comes to your mind now.
I remember one of the first times I heard real heavy metal, I feel like, I guess, was I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, and I was skateboarding. You know, I was a big skateboarder when I was a kid. And my dad let me borrow some of his CDs, and I happened to throw on this CD called Morbid Tales that some people might be familiar with. And it kicked in Celtic Frost, Into the Crypts Erase, and I was, you know, on my skateboard and for me, that was a moment that I knew I loved heavy metal, and I wanted to play fast and start being extreme, you know. And that was as a kid skateboarding. My dad would actually take us skateboarding a lot. He would drive us, me and all my friends, you know, and we would go skate and do stuff like that and listen to metal. So for me, that was a very important memory, is first hearing Morbid Tales, you know, as a young kid, you know, that inspired me to get into heavy metal and to start playing guitar and stuff like that.
Is there any band that you can consider your favorite band, your heart band?
Yeah. Other than Celtic Frost, probably Neurosis. Like I said, Healing Magic is more in the sludge style of music, and to me, Neurosis was the biggest band that influenced Healing Magic. Albums like Through Silver and Blood, Souls at Zero, Enemy of the Sun, like those records to me, I worship, basically. You know, so other than, I always say Celtic Frost or Black Sabbath, but other than those two, definitely Neurosis. That's one of my favorite bands of all time, definitely.
Do you consider yourself more rational or more emotional?
Emotional, actually. I put a lot of emotions into the music, a lot of spirit, a lot of my essence, I guess you could say, goes into the music. You know, and I'm somebody, I try to deal with my emotions as they happen, rather than bottle them up or whatever. So music has always been my form of expression for my emotions and for my for feelings of frustration and stuff like that. So personally, yeah, I feel like I'm more on the emotional side. I'm also a Cancer. I'm a crab, so that's what we're known for.
I am more emotional too.
Yeah, I think as artists, we usually are more emotional, even if some people don't like to admit it.
Do you have any mania?
I think a lot about myself. I think a lot about who I am, what I want to be, and I can kind of like focus on that a little crazy sometimes. But otherwise, I'm weird with like, I'll find something random and I get obsessed with it. Like lately, my obsession has been mushrooms. Weirdly enough, like I'm trying to learn everything I can about mycology right now, and then next year it might be something different. So I do have a little bit of obsessive compulsive disorder, a little bit, you know. I get very, very focused and very you know, and then once I learn everything, I'm on to the next one. But I guess as a whole, yeah, I do, I can get a little, you know, a little, you know, freaked out and focused on stuff sometimes.
What movie would you recommend to a friend who asked for you a great movie to watch now?
My absolute classic, probably favorite, one of my favorites is the original Halloween from John Carpenter. That's a personal favorite. But my personals are a lot of 80s horror, like The Exorcist, Phantasm, stuff like that. But as well, I like, you know, I like some of the more action kind of flicks from the 90s, like Point Break, stuff like that. I also like comedies. You know, I love stuff with like Chris Farley, stuff with Jim Carrey, stuff like movies like that. But yeah, I mean, if somebody was gonna ask me my favorite movie, I'd probably say like the original Halloween. You know, that one can't be beat. It was perfect.
Halloween is very cool.
Yep.
The sound is
Classic.
amazing, né?
Yeah. Oh, it's a classic.
Classic, absolutely. And a movie, okay. And a book. What book?
Here, let me grab it. I have one right here, actually. This is one of my favorites. This is called "If You Could See Me Now" from Peter Straub. Peter Straub is a very underrated horror writer, and this book very much influenced my first book, Killing My Insomnia. It's very much about ghosts, being in the woods, losing your mind type stuff. It's written very surreal. So this is very lesser known too. This is definitely my suggestion. If You Could See Me Now from Peter Straub. Crazy book, but I love it. Absolutely love it.
If you could have any superpower, what would be and why?
Invisibility.
Why?
I would probably have. I like to blend in. I like to be a fly on the wall, if you know what I mean. I guess I don't look for attention. I don't, if I could, because you can learn so much being invisible and watching and paying attention. That's probably what I would want to do.
Do you have a dream for your life, family, to the band, for mankind? Do you have a dream?
Absolutely. Yeah. I like to, I like to help people be themselves, I guess you could say. I like to help people do what they want to, be creative. That's kind of what I enjoy. I like inspiring other people to make music. I like inspiring people to create art. And aside from that, I'm a diabetic, so I would really actually like to help kids with diabetes if I could. That's something that I struggled with as a child. I got diagnosed with diabetes when I was 2 years old. So I've had it my whole life, and it's very hard. It's a very hard disease to have. So I would one day like to help kids with diabetes just feel good about themselves. Feel like they can accomplish things. It can be very hard having diabetes. I poke my fingers and I still play guitar, and I have to do injections and stuff like that all the time, and it can be very hard on you. So outside of music and creating art and stuff, I would really like to help kids with diabetes personally.
Your father, your mother helps a lot. Institute of Diabetes.
Yeah, they started when I was diagnosed as a young child. They started a fundraiser basically called the Iggy Diabetes Fund. That's me, Iggy. And that has gone on for over 20 years now. And it helps. Basically helps low-income families get their medicine, and it helps them get the diabetic supplies and stuff like that. So yeah, we've actually for a long time have been helping people already, but I would like to do even more if I could. Thank you. Yeah, no, we do it because we care. We know what it's like to struggle with the disease, so we try to help. We know how hard it is just to be on the road and be musicians, so we try to help people. And it's for other people, it's for us, and at the end of the day, it helps everyone to be a good person. So that's what we try to do, and that's how I was raised.
And you have the power of music with you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like we use music to achieve these things. I feel like with my music, I can inspire people to do things. Through my music, I can inspire diabetics that you know, look, if you have this disease, you can still go on tour. You can still be in a band. You can still achieve great things. You know, it doesn't necessarily always need to be a negative factor. You know, you can use that frustration and that you can use the disease almost as a way to create and a way to fuel yourself.
If you can define yourself with just one word.
Just one?
Just one, yourself.
I try to be wise.
Why?
I guess you could say. I try to be wise. I try to make good decisions. I try to think about things before I do them. Think about things before I say them. That's always kind of been my my way of life. Seek wisdom, seek knowledge, things like that. You know, so I try to be wise. But somebody else might say something else. Somebody else might call me a jerk, you know, but but me personally, I like to I'd like to think I'm wise. And that's what I try to be wise as well, and I try to think as much as I can.
And do you have plans for the rest of this year, to next year, to the band, to your career, your family? Do you have plans?
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of it already. You know, we have the another Go Ahead and Die show coming up. Some healing magic stuff is coming early next year. But yeah, as of plans, everything is still being planned right now, so it's not it's not confirmed yet, but we do definitely have some things in the works for next year. Definitely going to hit the road, do a lot of shows, you know, do some traveling, stuff like that. Like I said, I'm working on a book. I'm hoping I can have it out next year. It's kind of you know, debatable still right now, but I'm working on that. Otherwise, like I said, we've been wanting to get into more fundraisers, more donating, helping people, doing things like that. So I imagine we'll be doing some drives and donations and things like that as well. But yeah, otherwise, we're working on music. There might be some new Go Ahead and Die songs in the future. We'll see. Definitely new healing magic and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, we're gonna just keep working through the holidays. No sleep for us.
Okay. Igor Amadeus Cavalera, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this interview. And in the future, I wish to see you here in Brazil, maybe. Thank you.
Of course. I hope so too. I love Brazil, and I love the culture, and I love the people and everything. And I definitely hope that I get to go there as well. So, obrigado.